My guest today is Jo Brennan, who joined Habitat for Humanity Australia as CEO in July 2009. Since it was founded 30 years ago, Habitat has built more than 400,000 homes around the world, providing shelter to more than 2 million people in over 3,000 communities. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us about the work that Habitat does and also your role within that.
Habitat for Humanity, as you've said, is the largest not-for-profit home builder in the world. And we build homes, we build communities, and in doing that we build hope. We use a very simple model to do that. We partner with families and we give a hand up rather than a handout. We offer a low or no interest loan for the home, and our families contribute sweat equity. And that means that they work on building their homes and the homes of others.
Let me ask you, because I was surprised. I thought, people would donate money and then you build the homes, but I saw that individuals are putting in 500 hours of sweat equity, plus they're getting education, financial education. Tell me about that aspect of it, the actual financial education, because I thought that was an interesting contribution that you're asking them to make.
Well, very much. Being a Habitat partner is not easy. It's a lot of hard work, and as you say, contributing 500 hours on a build site is a lot of work. We take a holistic approach to what we do. So wherever we'll go, we'll build community, and so that means that we'll address housing, we'll address water and sanitation. The financial literacy issues are important because people repay a loan. It's not a handout.
Right.
And so that financial literacy is really important and critical. And then finally the access to microfinance. And that model is very consistent across Australia and across Asia. So it's a powerful way for people to maintain their own dignity and belief that they can make change themselves.
What are some of the biggest challenges the organisation faces in trying to do the work it does?
Look, the biggest challenge is meeting the need that's there. So, of course, in Australia, the challenges are well documented, and just about every week a national paper will run stories on housing affordability and land affordability issues. And just recently, as you would have seen, Sydney is now seen as the second most unaffordable city in the world.
Yeah.
Demographic International came out with that study. Across Asia, the problem is immense. There's something like 1.6 billion people who are living in substandard housing globally, and then of that, 32% are living in slums. And then of that, 66%, so 2/3 are living in slums in Asia. So the problem is very close to us, but what we believe at Habitat is that we can do something about this, and we see that in the work that we do every day.
Now, you as a career woman, you've held senior positions in a number of different industries, many of them male-dominated. Maybe you could tell us what a couple of those were. We find that some women find it a challenge to excel in those industries, but you've done very, very well. Tell us the industries, and what do you think it is that, whether it's the skills or the attitude, that would help women excel in those environments?
Look, I've worked in oil and gas, which is a very male-dominated industry, as you've said, and banking, and always construction. So I think the thing that's been critical and that makes the difference is connecting to your passion. And for me, it's always been about finding something that ignites that spark that I care deeply about, and then working to make that happen. And I think that is important regardless of what gender you are.
So you don't necessarily think that as a woman you need to do anything particularly different to what a man would to excel in that environment?
In my experience, I just had to work very hard, and I had to continually take risks where perhaps women don't naturally do that, and put myself forward. And I think sometimes women are more are reluctant to step forward and put themselves out there, and in those environments you have to do that, to take those risks and have the opportunity to make change.
one of the things that we do like to do, and you've already started, is that we like to leave those who are watching with a little sense of what has worked for you and strategies perhaps for women who are looking to advance in leadership positions. Now, you've said be courageous, step forward. Is there anything else that you would recommend as a course of action?
I think it comes back to finding your passion. For me, there's always hard times that you come across in your work experience and life, and it's those times that you need to draw on the why you're doing something. I think find your passion, be brave, and take risks. I'm really blessed. Every day I work on things that I care deeply about, and when I step onto a building site, whether it's here in Australia or in Asia, I meet people, I work with people, and I meet volunteers who are inspirational themselves, and it's the dignity and the resilience of the partner families that we work with that inspires me.
Now, you're working on a project that inspires me, and we're coming up to 100 years of International Women's Day, and you have a really exciting project in Nepal. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's an immensely exciting project. I went to Nepal in July and met the most inspirational women. They had such dignity and resilience, but they'd had experience that would have knocked me flat and challenges in their lives. But they'd come together and started forming their own village banks, and they were starting to work their way out of their poverty. They approached Habitat to work with them, and so I came back and made the call, and we've gathered 100 women who are donating their time and labour and their money, and they'll travel with us to Nepal in March, and we'll build 10 homes in 1 week. And they're also funding the project for the full 2 years that will help and provide a hand up for over 250 female-headed households. So it's inspirational stuff, and what I know will happen is that we will get as much as we've given, if not more, from the experience of working alongside of the women.
And not to take away from the generosity of those women and what they're giving, but it takes, I think, immense vision and leadership to head up a team like that. So for that, congratulations.
Thank you.
And best of luck with the project, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.